bring on the uncomfortable / ethically and morally wrong, because many CEOs over the last number of years have been Me Too'd because of the workplace culture relationships that have cultivated during this era, because many people have used their sway and influence within large corporate organizations. For example, the Weinstein organization. Now, this is we're right now. I'm just discussing.
He goes to the most
of
radical.
Course I go to the most radical.
Radical.
Now,
you're
Hollywood.
Mussolini and Naftali Bennett. No, we don't.
I think it's important to draw out the worst of people first,
like BB,
and then we get to the blurred lines in the middle, where like maybe that is something that is normal, because many people do find spouses, partners, dates in their workplace.
Yeah.
But we have to clearly define what is right and what is wrong before we can get to that gray area where maybe it is okay for this to become a budding something, right? I personally have not worked in a place that I felt like there is somebody here that is suitable for dating. I've only worked with non-Jews, right? So they weren't suitable for dating, maybe for other things.
Well, you also have,
but not dating.
You also had that organization also, so you did work with.
I guess I did work
girls,
with, yeah, but even still, I've never had a situation arise where I felt like this is a person within the structure of my dating sphere, and that has never come up. Those feelings have not come up with anyone I've worked with.
Right. So you're a good outside perspective.
Right. Has it happened for either of you, Rachel or JoJo?
I want to hear Rachel. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about your experience with workplace shidduch stories.
So I'll preface this. I worked in, I'm an accountant, so I worked in a public accounting firm for a few years. And I mean, nobody who I saw their resume or anything, I saw them on Jay's Life, so like, I don't know if that counts.
Of course that counts. This is shidduch.
Yeah.
I tell people shidduch years, the second you get off the boat from Israel, you take off the life vest until you get married. Mm-hmm. Whether that's 25, 35, I think probably, I'd say 40 is probably like the cutoff here. 42, 43, but whatever. Yeah. Whatever, as you were saying.
Yeah. So at my firm, there was a policy, like we were allowed to date each other. Like there were a lot of couples in my firm, non-Jewish, who had gotten married. And I had two different situations. Nothing actually happened, but there was a Jewish guy around my age, religious level, and two different times, and where someone was like, "Oh, why don't you guys date? Like, why don't you guys get together?" So the first one, my friend really tried to make happen, and it just didn't happen. We had a brief flirtation. He's a great guy. We ended up being friends and coworkers, and so we're friends. And then there was another guy. We were at our holiday party, and it's always like you see a guy with a yarmulke. So I started with one of my good friends from school who's also Jewish, and we saw a guy with a yarmulke. It was like our second year. We're like, oh, there's a new Jew at our firm, and he's young, and I don't see a wedding ring. So we're like, okay, let's go talk to him. And then she ended up leaving the firm, or she had a boyfriend. I can't remember why she was no longer in this with me. But my non-Jewish coworker and then my non-religious coworker tried their hardest to like get us in situations where we were like talking with each other. I got so many stalker pictures anytime I did talk to him, like my coworkers taking of us. And like, it wasn't a match. He's also a nice guy. And it's really funny because like we worked in very different departments. So we only really saw each other at social events. But then I moved neighborhoods, and he lives in my neighborhood in the city. And I see him around, and actually now we're pretty good friends. He actually just recorded with me on.
Nobody talks, nobody talks, nobody talks Shidduchim. This is the Nobody Talks Shidduchim podcast.